Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. They'll be talking about a special presentation for Troy University students relating to our reading initiative. And my guest today, Elaine Bassett, Director of the Writing Center, to tell us a little about what's going on. So for our common reader this year, we have the book To the Last Breath.
That's right.
And we have a special guest coming to campus. Tell us a little about that.
Oh, we do, and I'm so excited. The author of the book, To the Last Breath, Dr. Francis Slakey, will be coming Tuesday and Wednesday, February 25th and 26th.
And so an opportunity for students to actually hear from and potentially meet the author of the book that they've had to read. Now, for the folks at home who may be uninitiated, tell us about the reading initiative and why students are supposed to be reading this book.
Well, the university values reading, and we think all of our students should be engaged readers. So each year, a committee selects one book that all of our entering students read, all of our first-year students. On this campus, other campuses, even Troy. And this year, the book is To the Last Breath. What we do with this is all these students read the book. We have discussions all through the semester, and it's all an effort just to get those students engaged in reading something. We try to select a text that we think will interest a wide variety of readers, but also something that challenges readers, and this book has been a really good choice this year.
And of course, the story itself, for anyone, there's going to be an opportunity for the public to hear from him when he visits.
Most definitely.
But the story itself is pretty amazing story. It tells a little of the background of the story and why he is so interesting and why people want to hear from him.
This book, Francis Slakey is actually a physicist. He has his PhD in physics and teaches at Georgetown. This book chronicles his decision to try to climb the highest mountain on every continent and surf every ocean. It was just something to do. And what he discovers in that process is that all the world is interconnected. Things that he experienced in Indonesia affected people who lived in the U.S. And it made him more aware of how society is really a cloth woven together of threads, and that those threads are very important. And so this book challenges students to sort of look at the world the way he discovered it, and to see what kind of difference can I make in the world.
And the potential to change their worldview based on decisions that they make.
Yes, absolutely. When he finished this project of his, he went back to Georgetown and he created the program for science in the public interest. And what he does there is to work with students from all disciplines, all majors. He puts them together in groups and says, here, do something to change your world. And so you might have a business person working with a social worker, working with a biologist, who's working with an accountant. And they put their heads together, decide something they want to change, and do it.
And of course, for the public, students have read this book, but the public may not be familiar with the book.
Right.
But there is a chance for everyone, students and the public both, to hear from this very interesting man. And tell us a little about how they can do that.
Dr. Slakey has been very generous with his time. He will be speaking at 11 Wednesday the 26th in the Trojan Center Theater. That lecture is open to the public, and he's a very engaging speaker, so everybody who hears him will enjoy it. Then at 4 o'clock in the Barnes & Noble bookstore, he will do a book signing. So anybody who's interested in getting his book and letting him sign it, that's an excellent opportunity.
Good chance. And of course, for the students who have read this book over the last year, I would think that you gain greater insight from hearing from the man who wrote the book.
You really do, because you're able to put a face with these words that you've read, and it makes the words then come alive a little bit more. And you see that what the events you've read about in this book really did happen, and they happened to this man who's standing there speaking to you. So it really makes everything more concrete. And
of course, once again, for anyone who wants to see him, interact with him, tell us when and where they can do that. So
Wednesday, February 26th, 11 a.m. at the Trojan Center ballrooms. And then 4 p.m. on the 26th in Barnes & Noble.
All right.
for the book
Well,
signing.
looking forward to hearing from the author and hope folks take advantage of this
Oh, I
opportunity.
hope so.
And I
It
wanna-
will be well worth it.
Well worth it. And I want to thank you for joining me
Oh,
today.
thank you. It's my pleasure.